Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
Well, hello.
Phil, how you doing?
Well, how are you?
Great. Thanks for inviting me to the ugly sweater Christmas party.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have an ugly sweater on. I have a Mexican soccer jersey on.
That's okay.
Not
That's okay.
anything at all, but
It's close enough. Yeah. No. I thought I should dress up for Kenny.
I love it. You're here actually before Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
Well, yeah. I was trying to come a couple minutes early, but your link wasn't working.
I know. I think I really needed the time off. Like clearly it was all wrong. Like Kenny was like, "What time is it?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I got the time wrong," and then the Zoom link wasn't working. I'm like, oh.
Well, I just knew that you guys in the East, you don't even know we exist over here in the West. So, like, what time it is to you? You don't even know it's a different time zone over here.
Sometimes I skip over and I go straight to Hawaii. So, and then I know it's 6 hours, right? So,
Awesome.
How are your holidays?
It's great. I was just realizing when I opened Zoom, I haven't had a Zoom call for about a week, so it's been amazing.
That's amazing. No,
yeah,
that's like life goals right there. It's a big deal. Yeah.
I couldn't do the family Zoom calls at Christmas. I'm like, I'm on Zoom 12 times a day. I can't possibly do more at Christmas. We'll do phone calls and we'll do physically distanced drive-bys.
Yeah. I hear you. Let me see. Oh, look at this. And then Steve Sotto is coming on. He's CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Awesome.
Gonna jump on.
How long are you on here for? A couple hours?
Yeah, we're on for 2 hours, I think. So
okay.
Yeah.
I can only stay for about half an hour, maybe a little bit longer.
That's awesome. Yeah. Steve, you there?
Yes, I'm
There you
here.
are. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How are you?
Very good, very good.
Excellent. Steve, this is Tim. Tim, this is Steve.
Nice to meet you, Steve.
Steve is from Bed Bath & Beyond, and then Tim is from Jack's Alcohol out on the West Coast.
Oh, nice. Nice meeting you, Tim.
Pleasure to meet you, Steven. You're in Mexico.
Yes, correct.
Can't wait to come visit you.
Exactly. I can't wait to visit you.
Yeah. It's a little nicer there right now than it is here, so I'm sure.
Where in the West are you?
I'm in Vancouver, so it's not too bad, but it's raining and about 3 degrees today.
And what is Jack's?
Jack's is we're a retailer of beer, wine, and spirits. So we have 13 retail stores selling alcohol, beer, wine, and spirits.
I used to work for Guinness.
Oh yeah.
And I was in Vancouver for some months just because we're implementing something.
Okay.
So I tried a lot of alcohol. This is like 30 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have met. I'm trying to think of. I've been around for about 25 years, so I might not have met you if it was 30 years ago.
Yeah. One of the ex-Guinness people who is now in your area is Paul. Anyway, I'll look at LinkedIn. I'll remember.
Sure.
I think one of my favorite memories is when Steve was working at Guinness here in Toronto. He'd get me to come over and we'd try things in the bar in the back.
Yes.
And
and it is the best.
It is the best,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You learn things and then you can't remember quite how you get home, and then
Yeah.
you realize after that
Exactly.
it's not such a good idea to go visit Steve so many times. So
So Dumas tries to sign on right away and I guess has no luck, eh?
Yeah. I was 5 minutes early. I'm like, I'm gonna be
my
there, hang out with Kenny early, and And I just thought you guys didn't want me, and you sent me the wrong link. You're like, they're all somewhere else. And
I think Phil did that to everybody in general. I think Phil thought, it's a good idea, and thought, fuck it. You know what? That's not that good an idea. I'll just set a different time for everybody.
I couldn't hear the vacation. Like the link, I was as surprised as anybody. I started to log on, and I'm like, wait, this link doesn't work. How did I even make this link, right? Like, where did it go, right? Like, so I had to make a new one, and then
I just hopped off a Zoom call with Mark since 6 this morning. So I was on 4 hours with Mark, right? And we're going through, and he goes, "You're on today." I said, "No, it's tomorrow." And I said, "Oh, you're right. It's the 30." And then I looked at that. He goes, 11. I said, "No, 10." That's why I texted you. Hey, Stephen, how are you, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So you had your times all screwed up. I thought, what's he doing?
I did. I screwed it all up. So literally,
Phil and I already went through this, Kenny. We realized that in the East, they don't even know we exist. They don't even know there's a different.
They don't care about us.
So
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What we were supposed to look at was 1 o'clock Eastern.
Hawaii, right? So Hawaii is 6 hours away. That's what I knew. So
all he knew was 1 o'clock Eastern time. Really, who gives a shit what anybody else has got to do? That's the time we're going with.
Yeah. So is that a West Coast thing though? So do you just see the incorrect time and you automatically assume like Eastern time zone
the calendar said 10. You said in your email portion, "Hey, come join us 11 PST or 1 EST."
Okay. Yeah.
And I of course don't read emails. I just clicked on accept, which is what Tim did.
Yeah.
And then we're looking. I guess Tim tried to sign on and the link's not working.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, can I hop off for 2 seconds? Just grab a coffee.
Go.
My last coffee was at 6.
Goodbye.
And I ain't gonna function.
Go.
So are you guys still working? Like how's retail going over Christmas?
Really, you want to ask that question? I'm having a horrible time. So to answer your question, for us, they locked us down.
Yeah.
So Tim, just to let you know, we got 10 stores of Bed Bath in Mexico.
Okay.
As of this morning, 8 are closed. 2 are open, like restricted hours.
Wow.
So I just did, like this morning, I just did an equivalent, because it's not exactly the same, of furlough. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
That's so terrible.
It's really tough time, man.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh.
That's really crazy. I don't know. I mean, this vaccine thing isn't going to come fast enough. Like we're locking down here too. I think they're going to announce new restrictions today for businesses.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know what it means. It's bad. It's bad. The thing is, so here, I think the weird thing is what we're starting to realize from the data, or at least I think I'm realizing from the data. I don't know if the government is or not, but it doesn't seem like you're picking it up from businesses. Like it seems to be personal gatherings and like social gatherings are the ones that they need to and churches, right? Like churches seem to
correct.
Faith conquers coronavirus, which
we lost Tim, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
He'll be back. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it's like here, there's just no government assistance.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, hold on. Let me put you on mute. I'm getting a call.
Yeah. So if you guys are tuning in, we're just hanging out. This is our holiday hangout. We had Tim Dumas on from Jax, who's coming back, and then Stephen, who is on, but then he's walked away. Kenny's gone out to get a coffee, but because you guys can't see what I see, so I'll kind of constantly update listeners to what's going on. Tim's back. Welcome back.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah, no worries. Steve put us on mute. He's picked up a retail call for a second.
That's all good.
Sorry.
That's all good.
It's all good. Yeah.
This was supposed to be an in and out type of thing anyway, right?
Yeah. It's totally. I literally for a moment I was by myself. So I was just updating listeners because I feel like this is going to be weird for them because they can't see any of the things that we can see. So I feel like I'm just going to keep updating them on what's happening, right? So as people like come flow in and out, I think we'll have to do some of that, or they won't know what's going on. Steve, you were saying about like this furlough that you got to do.
Yeah, so in Mexico, so the big difference is there's no government assistance on COVID. Like that's the difference. I mean, the last time we spoke. So every time they lock down, it's the businesses have to make the decision. No, but most of the businesses are doing what we're doing, right? You for like the equivalent of furlough. Which is you reduce people's salary for a short period of time.
Yeah.
You either do
keeping
that
them
or
employed, but paying them less.
Yes.
Well, I guess it's better than being unemployed and not having
correct
anything. I mean, really, right?
But the amazing thing, and Phil, I haven't updated you, is Best Buy Mexico, who I used to work for. Best Buy Mexico announced they're getting out of Mexico. So
really?
They're closing 46 stores.
I hadn't heard that yet.
Yeah, they're out,
Wow.
which is amazing because in Canada and the US, anything Best Buy is positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing
like,
well.
who would you buy from in Mexico then? Like who?
That's where that's where all the kind of talk right now, like who would replace Best Buy, and whoever can replace Best Buy would take that share of the business.
Is that the Beyond part of Bed Bath and Beyond?
It may have to be.
Yeah, no.
Well, you can have a relationship with one guy. You pick like Samsung, for example, and you just say,
No.
you're not going to make a ton of money, but you say TVs and
No.
audio.
What we did was they have home products, like what do you call it? Microwave oven is a good example. So we're buying that like wholesale from Best Buy.
Wow.
Like Bed Bath is buying from Best Buy. No,
that makes sense.
exactly as you said, Samsung.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. You pick a brand or two and just kind of
but it's amazing. It's amazing on how many similar in US and Canada. Like there are many companies that are just declaring closure, like bankruptcy, done.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
you need to be in the booze business.
How is the
just
booze?
wine and beer, baby?
How's the booze business?
It's okay. But you know what? You know what's interesting though, Kenny, is what we found is that that Christmas didn't quite have the same spike as it normally did. Obviously,
been drinking since COVID. March. How much more spike do you want? We've been drinking for 10 months straight, like we've never drank before, and you wanted Christmas? You're greedy.
Just looking at the numbers. Just look at the numbers.
It had to be better than last year.
Oh yeah, it was better than last year, but we didn't see the same rise over last year. But it wasn't much better than last year. But
over the, let's say even over the last 3 months, it's probably been a solid 3 months relative to last year, right? I mean, you have to look at it that way. Where last year, I mean, seriously, see it, Daniel, we weren't drinking like literally since March. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm assuming it's just level, and plus, who's allowed over?
Right.
You can't have anybody in your house.
We know
kids
this
aren't going to
basket.
drink.
There was a big difference in basket, right?
Oh, I bet.
People come, if last year a dozen, maybe 20 people are coming to their house for Christmas dinner, right? And so they might buy, we have
15 to 20 people every year.
Yeah.
We have 5.
So
we have 5.
You're buying half a dozen bottles of wine. You're buying some spirits. You're buying a case of beer, right? As opposed to this year, it's just the people in your house. So
exactly.
You might buy something a little nicer, but you're not buying
not as much though, right? You're right. I mean, so if I bought 12 bottles of wine last Christmas, this year I think I bought 3.
Yeah.
Do you sell, Tim? Do you sell a lot to on-premise?
No, only to direct to consumer.
Got it.
Our rules are interesting here.
The BCLDB, no?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's only BCLDB that can go there. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
It's
good.
Interesting too, I guess, the consumer behavior, right? Because the idea of drinking by yourself at home, or like a couple drinking, you might do that less, right? But now over the holidays, do you drink more, or do you kind of hold the same line you know, like, so the part that you're talking
It
about,
depends on the day.
right?
That's any given Sunday, baby. Any given Sunday.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's really more the first part, Phil. You guys weren't allowed to have people around. We're not allowed to have people come. Like, I mean, there's people ratting on people. If they see, you know, the Dumas house has got, you know, there's a crew in that house is on a good day anyway. But if they see extra bodies, yeah, you could have neighbors ratting you out, right? So basically, I mean, like in our house, we typically have 15, 16 people Christmas.
yeah.
Mhm.
5. That's
Yeah.
it. So how much more? I mean, what am I going to? I'm not buying the same amount of wine because there's just not enough.
Absolutely.
There's just not enough of us drinking it. That's it. I never thought of that, Timmy. I mean, outside of luckily for you guys, I mean, it's again without COVID, you would have had the same December you had last year.
Yeah.
With COVID, you just stretched it out over a longer period of time, I guess.
Yeah, I think people's habits didn't change remarkably a lot over
No.
Christmas.
I think it was just how many people were allowed in our houses.
They still changed a little bit. I still think people had in their heads that it's Christmas, I need to have more Baileys in my house, right? And even though there aren't people coming over,
they still want it just in case.
They still want it.
Yeah.
Average household doesn't stock Baileys in their fridge, but at Christmas most do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, because we did the same. We went and bought some Baileys last week too. And again, we usually have it because there's a few of Amelia's friends when they come over. But again, that bottle, I bet you, does not get cracked until January now because you know why? There's nobody coming over.
Right.
Like, seriously. Yeah.
True, huh? Even the ones I gave away as gifts this year, I bought a lot less. You know, than I would normally give away.
Yeah.
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 So maybe the booze business isn't the one you want to be in.
Yeah. We need to find something else, Kenny.
That's what Tim is trying to tell you since the beginning,
Wow,
but you aren't listening, Ken.
No, I don't listen well on a good day there, Stephen.
Yeah.
Wow. It's because I never thought about, I kept forgetting that we just had so many freaking party restrictions and people that were allowed to have around.
Yeah. I mean, it was still very, very solid. I'm not going to complain, but we didn't have the same same
Like
lift as we had before.
I haven't drank Guinness beer, the beer, for how many years now? Maybe 15 years. And
Wow.
then 2 days, 2 days ago, I bought the one in can, like the one. Phil is familiar with that one. I bought the one, like I found it in Mexico, and I did the equivalent of Instacart. And then they ship it, and then so just kind of like enjoying beer, but by yourself, not like on premise. You're out there,
Right.
with friends. It's just you're home and just like fuck this.
That's how bad it's gotten in Mexico, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
There might be a new invention of a holiday. We might need like a February fuck this sort of. There might be a new alcoholic, holiday. Somehow you just stand out on your porch and drink it with all your neighbors.
Yeah.
On their porches or something, or on the sidewalk, or.
Well, in our country, that might come when all the funding dries up and people realize that holy shit, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
That might happen.
Right.
That might be first half summer in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
Well, think about it. Look, because
He's drinking now, so what?
Exactly.
No more freaking. I have enough, man.
Well, but the thing is, you look at the difference between our countries, right? Like, because Mexico is doing a lot differently, they're not funding the same levels. Like we're into this mess, I think, for $500 billion of extra spend in our country.
Yeah.
And the States has got to be close to $3-4 trillion, maybe $5 trillion of extra spend. I mean, that's the only thing that's fueling us up here is that you inject $500 billion into people's hands and the economy can still float.
Yes.
But sooner or later, when the band plays,
it will dry up.
The old Italian saying, someone's got to pay for the band, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
The band can play all night. That's awesome. But at the end of the night, someone's got to pay for the band.
Yeah.
So
correct.
Sooner or later, someone's going to pay for this one. This is a big band.
Okay, Phil, let's talk about something positive, man.
I know.
It's all good.
What is okay? So I have a fun one. No, this is a personal one, but we've decided in our household. So the moment quarantine is over, so vaccines are in place, it's safe to do things again. What's the first place you go to travel?
Mexico.
Are you saying that because Steve's on the call?
No, we're going to Puerto. We're going to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Seriously, I would go right now.
Yeah.
If I wasn't worried about people, the quarantine part, I don't give a shit about. I'm worried about what Mexico's doing in terms of COVID. But I know most of Mexico's problems are probably Mexico City. It's not necessarily everywhere else.
Yeah.
But where is it that you wanted to go? Where in Mexico?
We go to Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, but in Mexico, in general, like we're screwed here.
I know.
Right now. Like our number of cases is crazy. Yeah. Our numbers of death, etc.
Is it everywhere though, or is it just in sort of Mexico City, or is it like everywhere?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere.
We're not going to Mexico
everywhere. Yeah. So, but to answer your question, I go to Canada.
I want to get the hell out.
Yeah, I want to go home, man.
I want sun.
I don't even mind being quarantined at home there. Yeah.
That's funny. That's our logic. We don't mind being quarantined down there.
No, because the other difference is in Canada, or normally in Canada, like you know, people live in houses.
Yeah.
And you can go out to the park, and it's okay, right?
Yeah.
In Mexico City, no, you don't go to the park. I mean, that's crazy, right? So when myself and Lucero and the baby were here, we're literally inside. The only outside we get is the roof, like the roof garden or the terrace. But no, we haven't been out for a while.
So why wouldn't you even go out to the park, for example?
There's really no safe park, right, in the city. Like being safe as in theft and stuff like that, right? And then especially now.
Yeah, everything of that part of it. Like, I'm thinking, okay, well, you're outdoors. There's not as many people, but you got other elements that could screw up the park idea.
Correct.
Because again, remember, it's Canada. So I mean, I'm assuming that happens here too, but that is not the number one. The number one fear beyond there's too many people in the park.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not I'm going to get clubbed in the head with a 2x6. That's not
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Like let's say before the second wave, we call it here the second wave, which is mid-December, before the lockdown, the second lockdown, I would go to the store, like Bed Bath store for work.
Yeah.
You know, with all the mask and everything, and just driving to work, it's different. You have to be very careful because some people take advantage of the situation. They know it's not normal, so some people will stop you. And also, I mean, these people, they're struggling financially.
Yeah, but they're desperate too, right? I mean, people are
very.
There's always opportunists. I get it.
Yeah.
But there's also just a lot of people that just maybe want to feed a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the positive side, Phil, I go to Canada. Tim, I don't know where you want to go.
You know what? I think I just have to go to Disneyland with the kids. Kids got to get out, got to do something fun. Yeah. It's warm. I don't think California is opened yet, but we were talking about that the other day. We were like, it's been over a year. We haven't gone anywhere. Not that we go on a big trip every year, but haven't gone anywhere. So yeah, if I could go anywhere, a day one, go to Disneyland. The one thing I did say to my wife the other day is we were looking at our passports because we haven't looked at them for a year, right? Yeah. And a couple of them, I think, anyway, we're looking at ones we have to renew, right? And I said, we better renew those now because the minute the borders open, everybody will be going to renew. You'll never get a passport, right?
If you go now, there'll be no lines.
There's no line. Yeah, there's no one's trying to do it now. So check your passport. If it's due this year, do it now.
I'm good till 2025. I had a 10-year one. So.
I have two of them in our family. We have a family of 5 and we're the same. We've got a couple of them due. I've been driving on an expired driver's license for a year now. I have because the ministry, the provincial ministry is closed, right? So they've said we've suspended everything. Don't bother. Like I had eyesight changes. I had laser eye surgery, so this was my kind of major refresh. So I have to submit paperwork to say I don't need glasses anymore, and so I can't do that online even. So.
Wow.
So yeah,
I think here we can do it online. I think Kenny. I think you do it online and they ship it to you.
Yeah. So
I have
I've
no
tried
idea.
and no, and so anyway, my trip would be the UK. So my kids are a little bit older. I've always wanted to take them. I've tried to go a couple of times. The first time I got outvoted, we went to Hawaii, which wasn't terrible at all. And so I'm my first trip will be the UK, maybe London and Paris if we can figure out how to do it. So
Wow.
those would be our trips. So
I was watching those documentaries, and then they said like right after the COVID thing, like one of the biggest spike will be travel.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That's all we're waiting for.
Yeah.
If any of the airlines are still around.
I just want. Well, there'll be a couple.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the planes are still maintained. That's the worry.
Yeah.
Planes sitting down, planes on the ground are no good. Planes need to be.
Yeah.
They need to run.
They need to be moving.
Yeah, they need to. The parts don't like being still.
Yeah.
But I think you're right, Stephen. I think as soon as this opens up, I think it's going to be just a shit show at the airports. Like we are all dying to get out.
Yeah, correct.
I'm still not understanding Phil's logic. I mean, I'm thinking all I hear right now is rain on the roof and outside. I'm thinking, you want to go to London? Like seriously?
Yeah.
This is the shit that we would be leaving to go back to.
But it's different, right? Because I like for me, it's getting the kids to that cultural experience.
That's true.
And it's something we've wanted to do for a long time, right? So, when COVID
Paris
down, it's kind of that moment you go, well, shit, right? Like, if we stay like this, maybe we never travel again. Maybe my kids never get to see some cool places, right? It's not that we don't want to go somewhere sunny and just get like beach time. 100% that is.
Take them to the south of Spain.
Yeah.
Like if you do like Seville and Cordoba and Granada, like that whole Costa del Sol is like
then I get some
awesome.
Culture and I get beach.
There's
right?
tons of culture.
Yeah.
And it's warm. Yeah. In summer it's actually not warm, it's past warm.
But the bright side is if we go to a beach in Dover or something, my kids will fit in just fine. We'll be white and peach and sing inside. So
it'll just be like everybody else. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we'll fit right in. So
awesome.
Oh man.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Oh
well.
Well, what's the plan, Phil and Kenny? You guys are gonna do more podcasts next year?
Yeah,
I think so. We've been 3.5 years, or just over three and a quarter years doing this, and we haven't stopped yet. Like we haven't even missed a week. We've only missed, I think, like 1 week.
Yeah.
And on the 1 week we missed, I think we already had like a podcast in the can that we used. So I don't think we've missed. I don't think I've been this consistent on anything I've done.
Yeah, 162 episodes. We missed one. We missed one where we didn't have a makeup, but otherwise we had one with a makeup. And then we skipped last year. We skipped a week in between Christmas and New Year. That was it. Otherwise, we haven't missed a beat. It's been really, really fun. Like it's been we've had some like great guests. Like you guys were amazing on this show, and we've had lots of guests, and it's just
a lot of good guests.
Fun,
But you got people already lined up. Let's say for January.
Yeah, we're not that prepared, really.
Yeah, it's kind of week to week. Like, I mean, geez, Stephen, like, what do you want us to do? Have a calendar?
Yeah. The most organized would be 3 weeks out, right? Like, we're not lying to anybody on the show.
I'm not even convinced that's organized as much as.
Yeah, you guys would all go bullshit. There's no way you guys are prepared. We're not really that prepared.
And for 3 weeks out, it's because people finally answered, and they all answered at the same time. It wasn't because it was planned.
Yeah.
It's because they just came at us at the same time, and then you just have to stack them.
Yeah.
But we're not that organized. Shit.
Yeah.
I think last week was it Linda last week or Chris was last week? Linda was the week before.
Chris was last week.
Yeah, Linda. I think Linda we talked to the day before.
Linda, we talked to the day of.
Day of. Okay, yeah. It was on a text even, I think, right, or an email. And we said, well, why don't you just come on tonight?
Yeah. So Linda Webb is like our number one fan. She was probably the first fan we had, and then she stayed with us.
You have other fans too now?
We do. We have more than one fan.
Well, we know for sure we have one.
Yeah, we know for sure we have fans. Yeah.
We know we have Linda. We know our families don't listen.
But yeah. So she was like, we said you should come back on. She goes, sure, when? And we're like, we have nobody tonight.
What's tonight?
Come on, back. And she's like,
No, actually,
okay.
yeah, go ahead. I forgot to tell you guys.
Yeah.
I was having a meeting with a digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
Based in Argentina, Buenos Aires.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then he said, I'm sure he did his search and stuff like that. Then he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I listened to your podcast."
That's awesome.
With your podcast.
That's awesome.
And then he actually told me the detail, and I said, "Really? Yeah. It's actually good. It's very, very interesting." So he actually listens to your podcast.
Oh, that's
from Buenos Aires.
Worldwide, baby. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Barraco, I think is the name of the company. Barraco, B-A-R-A. Yeah, like very good company.
What do they make? What do they do?
PR?
PR, you said.
No, digital marketing.
Okay.
Barraco.
They do all the I don't even understand it. Like very e-commerce thing.
Okay.
You know, they do some Google thing and whatever.
All the search online and all that stuff.
Yes. Do the analysis, etc.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It's good.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's been really fun. I got a note as well from Fats Diamini, who does the pet brands in South Africa. So he said to say hello. He said it's too late in South Africa for him to join.
Okay.
But he loves the show too. So he says
he had a cool story though. His story was pretty neat. I enjoyed him too.
Yeah. So he said Happy New Year to you and your families, toasting for a happier, healthier, fairer world in 2021. So
yeah, that'd be nice too.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Timmy, you know what you should do? I wonder if would you come on and talk about your speaking and those not so much the motivational, more the what's the group called?
Hey?
Yeah. About how so Tim's involved with the McKay group. It's it's like tech and all those ones, Phil, where it's more about where they help each. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of interesting too, because I think there's a lot of small companies. Like I got Dom. Like I didn't get Dom to do. Dom asked me one time. He said, "I've got an opportunity to go to tech, like this TEC, right, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What do you think?" And at that time, I didn't know McKay, and I said, "Listen, I know there's a whole bunch of things out there, but I said anytime you can sit with 8 to 10 people of similar size businesses, etc. I mean, how do you lose? I mean, you're going to learn something."
What is McKay?
So what is this thing?
It's a peer group forum. So what we'll do is, so I chair a group. We bring my group's an executive group. So I have C-suite vice presidents of all different departments of all different types of companies, and we will meet. We meet 8 times a year, so approximately every 6 weeks, and we basically work as an advisory board for each other. So in my group, for example, there's all types of different businesses. There's insurance. There's someone in the funeral business. There's someone in the fresh produce business. There's a charity. There's 2 in construction development. There's tech. So there's all different types. And I would argue that anybody who's in a VP, C-suite, and above, CEO, owner level of any company, I would say they're imperative, because we too often get stuck in doing our own thing in our business, in our own industry, and we don't look outside. I can't tell you how many great ideas I've got from the person in tech or the person in the funeral business or other businesses that say, "Tim, why don't you do HR like this? Why don't you do marketing like this?" And I've just never thought of doing it like a tech company does, or like a construction company does. Yeah. But I should at least, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong for me, but I should at least think about that, right? Yeah. So highly imperative. I tell everyone who will listen, you have to be in a group such as this, whether it's McKay or not. You need to be in a group like this if you're taking your company and yourself personally to the next level.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Can you invite me on your next one?
Yeah, Stephen, let's do a
look at that.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm really interested, eh?
Because it's really Kenny, I'm not giving you any commission though.
That was my segue. Like that was lined up perfectly. You just fucking crushed that. That was not very nice of you, young man. It's Christmas. Christmas season, baby. Happy New Year. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
That was like a screw you.
Yeah, Stephen, let's set up a call offline,
yeah.
and I'll tell you about it, and we can that would be
Yeah.
I know
very
tons of
interesting.
people doing it, Stephen, for the reasons that you're probably thinking now. Is that what it does? Honestly, it's you get into a position that what do you see? You only see what you see,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And you don't see anything else, and it's hard to grow. It's hard to learn.
Yeah.
If you it's like going to university or anything. That's why I tell people, I've got a lot of friends. Well, university is a waste, and I always tell them it's not a waste. You know what university is? It's a great way to meet a lot of people.
Mhm.
It's a great way to see the world in different sets of eyes. That's why you do education, right? You're trying to expand and grow. I love the idea, Timmy. I know Dom really enjoys tech. I think he gets a lot out of it. I think he just finds it to be, there's so many similarities no matter what the business. If the business are so dissimilar, people are people.
Yeah.
And how you manage people and the problems you have and some of the ceilings that you're going to hit are very similar in many industries. So
when I walked into my first meeting, I went in and sat in on a meeting before I started chairing a group, and I sat in a meeting with some bigger some big companies, some companies you'd all know. And what I realized was they have the same darn problems that I have in a medium-sized company. You want to be with people that are in similar sized companies for similar issues, but people, like you said, Kenny, people are people. When I worked at a big multinational firm versus a medium-sized company like I do now, the issues are all the same, just on a different scale, right?
I agree.
Well, because the fundamentals doesn't change. People are people.
Yeah.
Right.
So Stephen, I'll send you an email. Let's maybe we'll set up a Zoom call next week, and I can give you some of the info.
Set the setup. Yeah. No, thank you. Hey guys, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go
Thanks
back
for
to
jumping on, buddy. Go do your thing.
to my beyond piece.
Yes. Beyond it is.
I gotta go do the beyond. I like that one.
Beyond, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. See you guys.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Thank
Nice meeting you, Tim.
All right. Great meeting you too, Stephen. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
So if you ever want to do a podcast on that, Kenny, Phil, happy to do it.
Look, that's my wife Kathy, and that's Rachel.
I don't think 3 years we've been doing this. I've never seen Kathy. I have no idea what a Kathy looks like. How are you?
Come in, say hi. You're photobombing. Rachel won't come in. She just woke up. It's right around teenager wake up time at 1:40.
It's 1.
It's all good.
What time is that? 1:30.
Yeah, it's
we talk about Kathy enough on the show that once in a while she should just say hi and leave. Even Amelia doesn't do that.
So that's Kenny, and then that's Tim.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. And this is Sophie. She makes her appearances. She barks on the show every now and then.
Every once in a while, we do hear her.
Yeah.
So Kenny and Phil, I got to go to swimming lessons at the top of the hour here. So
sounds good, buddy.
Yeah, you know what they make you do in swimming lessons now? Because the teacher isn't allowed to go in the water with your kids. Yeah. And my 8-year-old daughter, she can swim fine. She can swim the deep end, but I have to be in the pool with her, just in case something happened, because the teacher can't be in the pool with her. So, but here's the thing: it's an hour-long session where I got to be swimming laps with her.
Oh,
you're getting in shape.
Yeah, I can't keep up with the 8-year-old. Yeah. I'm like, I said to her, I go, if something goes wrong with me, can you save me? She's like, you're too heavy.
That's water. It's easier. Tell her that.
It's a little embarrassing. Do you need to wear a pool noodle or anything?
I just asked things? Where they are. I said, where are the life jackets? Just
water wings.
Water wings.
Water wings.
Yeah. So that's good. But yeah, hey, Kenny, I could talk about peer.
I would love you to come on. I think it'd be really cool because I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from those type of things, especially the companies that we talk to. So I just thought of that.
We talk about that a lot, right? Like I think whether it's that level or the level down where you've got marketing directors who run like groups by themselves, for example.
Absolutely.
They need the support, right? Like, like the problems aren't, they're not that different,
Yeah. The cool thing about this is normally you'd have a marketing group and an HR group, and you have the HR people all get together, right? But the great thing about this is when you have people from other specialties, that's when you really start thinking outside the box. Because when you get all these HR people in the HR human resources group, right, where they just start talking about human resources issues, and which is great.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but you lose something when you're not talking to the finance guy, because
Right.
when I'm in operations,
Yeah.
and I get to see more of the perspective from the finance person, then that's really, really valuable, right? Especially from
Right.
someone from another company.
Yeah.
And the huge value too is that since we act as each other's advisory board, and we have no biases towards each other. When I work with my CFO at my company, or a partner at my company, we all have little biases towards where we want the company to go. But with these people, they just want me to be as successful as I possibly can be, and vice versa to them. That's I have zero bias outside of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing value, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Anyway,
There
I
you
think
go.
I think it's worth a show. I mean, I think it'd be interesting, and I do. I think some stuff like that is just. I mean, again, it's. I think what you've probably learned, Timmy, over the years, it's nice to have other people that you can rattle things off on.
Yeah.
Totally. And I mean, that's what I got with you, Kenny. Like, how long ago was it? We met just after Christmas. It's like February. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
No shit, it's not that long, buddy. I think it would have
It
been.
was at least 2 years ago.
It's 2 years ago coming up.
Coming
2 years
up,
ago in
coming up
March.
February. Yeah.
Right.
But
February.
that's what you've been so great at, right? And Kenny, I had to send him a nice Christmas present because he takes my calls, right? And I'm like, hey, Kenny, I have this problem. I need your help, right? And
So I do all that, and the commission with Steven just went to shit like within milliseconds.
All right, I gave you a nice Christmas gift. What more do you want?
I'm just saying. I get all these nice words, and immediately from milliseconds, my commission went to shit. That's all I heard.
Think it needs to be the other way around. So I think what we need to do is lean on the beyond part and figure out what he's getting. Because a couple of Samsung products redirected into Canada wouldn't be such a big deal. Those are some nice gifts for us.
Yeah. No, so that could be okay. But no, that's but it was 2 years ago, Kenny, that
I
that
never
we
thought
met,
that. You're
which
right.
was
It seems like I've known you way longer than that too.
I know, it seems forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was probably a year ago I was on the show. It was at least a year, maybe longer.
No, post-COVID, right?
No, it was pre-COVID.
Was it pre-COVID? Oh, Peter came on post.
Peter came on post, yeah.
Peter came on post.
So it's pre-COVID. So it was
Is it that long, really?
Well, it was at least 9 months because it was before COVID. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think you're
I think
right.
it was the summer of 2019. That's my guess.
Let me see if I find.
That sounds way too long. Really?
Crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So that would be 18 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
RC.
Anyway, but yeah. Oh, the other thing, Kenny and Phil, I'll send you this later. I'm doing a webinar on January 14th in the morning with a guy out of Florida from the Dream Leadership Institute. I'm into the dream session stuff.
Yeah.
So and dream goal setting. So I'll send you the webinar link later today when I get back.
Okay.
Send me the link.
If that's something
Take
that's
a look.
interesting you. Yeah, send it to your
Calendar dependent.
Value.
Yeah, so it was actually 13 months ago. So 14 months. So August 13th, 2019.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's almost a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
That's like almost 16 months ago.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
It doesn't actually feel like that long, actually. That's the weird part.
Yeah. I have a new microphone since then, though, Kenny. I think it's the same as yours. Look, the
See,
real
look at
deal.
you, eh?
Yeah.
That's all it takes, man. I just copied Phil.
I didn't have it before.
We're making the world sound better one person at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. If you hear of any grown man drowning in Tawasin, come help.
Sounds good.
Listen, send us a picture of you in the water wings.
I want to see the water wings too.
Yes. I will definitely not be doing that. Have a great day, guys.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'd be happy to put that picture up. Take care. Happy New Year.
Ciao, man.
Oh, man. It's awesome.
So I think what's probably happened, young man, is especially on the West Coasters, they're probably all waiting until 11.
It's okay. We only got 13 minutes, and then they'll be on.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, or people are just doing what people do. I mean.
Yeah. You know what? I look back at this year and I think, holy shit, we had this.
I thought Timmy was on last year. I forget how many. That's like 60, 65, 70 episodes ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I started to go back because I realized that before all our episodes just had this Commerce Life icon in it, like the little shaman cart logo. and I've started to populate people's pictures in them. Because it makes sense to do that.
Makes more sense.
So I've gone backwards, but like I realized how many episodes we have, right? Like I only made it to like episode 136, like working backwards. Because every time I load an episode, I try and do a couple of these.
Right.
And, so that's how I can do this. But
wow. No, I sometimes forget how long we've been doing this too. Like it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but that's like even Timmy to be on that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. We did. I sent you that picture, but we did get this huge spike of like.
What was that about?
I don't know. Honestly,
maybe it's holidays, right? People are home.
Yeah, I think so. And then we've kept up the pace. So like last week it was like 400. This week's been another 400.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Those are more like month numbers.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. It's
You know what though? But honestly, I really still think it's been just a good year for guests. Like we've had a lot of good guests on, which have been. I mean, I think we have anyway. Like I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Where I'm thinking like there's been. Actually, it's been a good year because you learn a lot, right?
Yeah. And I think part of this is also the fact that we put out an episode over Christmas, because I've noticed a lot of podcasts that have gone quiet in the last 2 weeks, because they've taken breaks and time off. But we've kept podcasting as well, so we have new episodes.
I think we should. I don't think you should ever take a break, to be honest with you. I think if you
Mark Stirling is in our waiting room, should we let him in?
Let him in. I mean, it's a reasonable time for him. What time is it? Oh, it's 10
to 2.
Like 2 o'clock your time. Like, you know what? Yeah. Sign him off. We can call him back when it's about.
Do you want me to hang up on him?
He hung up on us. I lost him.
I think he did.
Jackass. That's awesome. He did bail on us. Where is he?
I don't know. He should be coming back. So we're getting you had so the voices you heard before were Steven Sotto from Bed Bath & Beyond Mexico, and Tim Dumas from Jack's out on the West Coast. That was actually a pretty interesting conversation, completely unscripted. Now we have Mark Stirling from Orion Sales on.
Who's happy just to be on before dinner.
Yeah, we debated to leave you in the waiting room for a little while longer.
We'll call you, maybe like till tonight.
I felt like I was getting iced a little bit here. You guys were like freezing the kicker here. I was coming in to kick the last minute field goal. I just wanted to jump on and say Happy New Year. I'm on holidays today. Just finished my day today after being on with Kenny since 9 o'clock this morning. Wow. 6 your time, 9 my time, and then just finishing an exec call just now, which I was fired up for, but I ended with a very high note with one of our team members getting engaged over the holidays, which was great to hear.
Awesome.
So that was cool after I lost it on all of them to start the meeting, but it was good.
Nothing like starting a meeting.
But I honestly just wanted to come on because the time worked for me today. It was midday for me. If you guys ever want me on again, happy to do a 1 o'clock Eastern time. 12.
You pay for these.
No, this is for big guns. Big guns.
These are big
guns.
Like we don't. This is like primetime TV. Like you'd be paying Super Bowl money for advertising.
Yeah, it's
So.
It's a whole different world.
I was hoping to have your one of your highly regarded guests, your life coach or your business coach on to get some free advice before the holidays or before the New Year.
Lori?
Yeah, Lori, but I guess she's not on right now. But if she jumps on later,
let me know. Lori may show. I don't know if Lori's going to show. She didn't say anything, but she may pop on.
We did figure out that
honestly, secretly, I just wanted her on so I could tag up with her on Kenny, just to have some payback to him. Which would be enjoyable, but that's it.
I don't know if you saw that, but if you saw that, like you said Lori, and we both went, where do I hide? Where do I hide?
Exactly. Well, it's because you need other people on when Lori's on, just to deflect to other people. Like put it to new people.
And then Cherry is jumping on.
Good morning.
Fantastic.
Audio's just coming in, but Cherry was on talking about Airtable. She's kind of built herself this pretty cool business out of that. She's a little frozen.
It's okay. So Mark, you're gonna head out?
I'm gonna head out. Merry Christmas. All right.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
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 Yeah. Anyway,
I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. Am I talking to you tomorrow or not?
You can call me tomorrow.
Okay, I'll call you in the morning.
All right. Thanks. Bill.
Okay.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Okay. Take care. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you? I'm
Good.
doing well.
Excellent.
Kenny, I see you've got a new mic set up. That's great.
No, this is the old one. You know what? I probably hit it last time, or maybe because if we're on with La Grota, sometimes I'm in the basement, just on the laptop. If I'm podcasting, I'm up here.
In the
So
studio.
I have to look and sound like Phil. It's a whole different game, Sherry. It's so much
Sherry's
pressure.
made some upgrades. You've got a little Air Ops consulting.
I have.
And then you've got a fancy chair now.
Oh, that's a chair I just noticed. Like that's a fancy
It's true.
Nancy.
It's true. Well, I was in my room last time, which was I'm sure had the wooden panel in the ceiling. But
I don't remember. I thought you were
I
here.
remember.
Quality.
Normally, when I talk to you, you're here. I think.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
walking or you're
probably.
here, I think.
Probably, and I repainted the back wall as well, so it's a little more. Well, apparently white doesn't do well in videos, so I've opted to a gray.
Well, see, there you go.
There you go.
There you
Awesome.
go.
How was your holidays?
It was great, lots of food and family time. A little bit difficult because of the whole COVID situation, so then we had to just really pick and choose what how we would celebrate.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Yeah.
And
I think everybody
whatever
seemed to
was
say
with you
that.
guys.
Yeah. I kind of like, so it was just the five of us, and then we did a bunch of Zoom calls. But I didn't want to get anchored, like, you know, the way you do with Zoom calls, so like one place. So I actually set up like 3 different laptops. So you could kind of wander around the main floor. So the kids, you know what I mean? Like, so we literally had them strategically placed so that you could kind of walk around and like still be able to see and hear.
Oh, that's so cool. And how did you set up the mic then?
So I wired one mic to like the middle of the room, like an ambient mic. And then I left all the speakers on, like I wired up one big speaker and then one mic, so that you could kind of pick it up everywhere. So that was the only thing, is like, if you wanted to like really talk to everybody, you had to like wander over closer to the mic, but otherwise you could be anywhere. So I think like at one point we ran our Zoom call for like 4 hours, I think, and just left it on, right? And then like we had 3 other families on, and so you kind of like, you know, like I at one point we were like, hey, we're eating dinner, and then the laptop was just there so people could talk to us while we're eating dinner.
Yeah.
And then we would just wander around, play with the dog, and then when they were eating dinner, we could sit with them while they ate dinner. You know, and then we played some games online and stuff like that. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a holiday live stream.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you do this year, right? I mean,
Right,
it was a very different year for sure. So
it just felt kind of dumb to like anchor to, you know, like to one spot, so that all you can do is sit there for 4 hours, right? Because that's not really how you would do it if they were around, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
And what about you, Ken?
we did the same sort of thing. I mean, we've never had this few people. Like, because my daughter came back she was up north. She came back. She got COVID, right? So she came back down on the 18th or 19th. So she had to, because she had it, like tested for it, they don't do 14 weeks. You know, it goes to like a 10-day kind of thing, right? Because you skip the first part where you're not too sure and the asymptomatic stuff.
Because you're sure.
Yeah, so you got it. So we didn't see her until the 27th.
Okay.
So for Christmas Day, it was my mom and dad, because they've been literally in our bubble type thing since the beginning, and Daniel. So it's the 5 of us. And then we did the same thing. We had, iPads. My mom and dad have iPhones. We had the iPads, and we did, the family Zoom. So my brother-in-law, my brother, and the family. So we got, I mean, it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, you can, I mean, whatever. It's one Christmas out of many.
Many.
So really, in the grand scheme of life, it was difficult per se, but I don't know. We kind of all brought it back down to, really and truly, it's not. We're not in that tough a position. Like, seriously, relative to a lot of families who are out of work, or had people, not make it
Yeah.
through COVID. I mean, for us, it was an interesting Christmas. I mean, whatever.
Nice.
Next year will be better. That's all you go with.
And we got Taz Latifi on. This is so cool. So
Hey,
for
Taz, how are you?
people who can't see, we have Taz on now, and then we've got Cherry, and Kenny and I are not leaving, but welcome.
Thank you. I just got your email. I'm like, what's going on? And
I
then
know.
realized you had sent another one previously. So
I know. Well, because I clearly needed a vacation, right? Because I sent it, I had the wrong times on it. I went in and I clicked the Zoom and the Zoom wouldn't work for me. So I have no idea how I built that Zoom link because it's nowhere, right? So I was just like, I needed to stop working.
Yeah,
So
obviously something went sideways.
Yeah.
what's new, guys? Are you guys rocking it out right now?
Oh my gosh, it's the Hangout's actually been really fun. We had
it's been okay.
Steve, who was Bed Bath and Beyond Mexico on earlier, and Tim Dumas, who runs Jack's Alcohol, on, and we've got you guys on. Mark Stirling was on here earlier just now. So yeah, it's been really fun. It's just chance to hang out, see some great faces again, and
Getting
see
your
what's
take
going
on everybody, challenging everyone on what they're doing next and what 2021 is going to look like. God help us all.
Oh, God help us all.
Yeah, God help us all is right.
Oh man.
I think we're all curious to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what's going to play out.
You know what's interesting? When it was 2019, the end of 2019, I never looked too far ahead, which maybe is a mistake as a business owner and just as a human. I don't know if it's the right way or not the right way. I try to take things as they come. And then I realized with COVID that we have to be able to shift so fast. We have to be able to pivot so fast, especially when you own a business. Cherry, you have a consulting company, right?
Yes. That's
So,
right.
and whoever you work with, they rely on consultants or people that work with them to kind of move really fast and get to the next place because they can't do it themselves. Sometimes they need hand holding. So if we can't do that in our lives, how do we expect to bring it to companies we work with? So I'm kind of glad that I never gave a shit what the future
What the future holds.
You have to have an overview, but if you get stuck on it, I think, and a lot of people do, or they get stuck on the past and what they've accomplished. I've done this, and I've done this, and I've done this.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Well, so now what's right?
Right. So, I have, this year has been as bad as it was. It was intense learning. It was almost immersive for me. Like I'm jumping in and if I get hit, if I get beat up, if someone wants to spank me, no, I didn't say that, but if something needs to happen.
That was a whole different visual, a whole different context. The whole thing just changed.
You guys need a little action, I think.
Well, we went right into adult right away. I don't know what happened there. The whole format of this podcast changed.
There was a whole reason I did that, because sometimes we need to wake up.
That's awesome.
Words make that happen, right? So I do that in my business, when I'm just talking to pet owners, because all of a sudden you see them glazing, and if I don't challenge them and connect to their own emotions, like talk to them the way their dog is thinking. Yeah. Like the dog is saying, "You're an asshole. You have not taken me out for a walk for 6 hours, butthead." If I say it that way, and I'm being super nice, I don't know if that's nice, but if I don't.
No, that's nice. I've seen you mean.
Oh,
I've seen you mean. That was nice.
Not likely.
Oh, Mina.
No, she's amazing. Like really, like even when she's being hard, it's amazing. Like it's great. I'm not being facetious. I really mean it. Like, yeah. Anyway, please continue.
But that challenge is really important, because sometimes we start losing track, and if we don't, as a speaker or the person that is communicating the information, if we don't make that story enjoyable enough and tangible, and we don't connect, then we lose the whole picture. Right. So that's, I think this year. God, thank you for bringing it to an end and not letting me die from COVID. But that was, again, veering off. I think that ability to pivot and reconnect with the listener and the person that you're talking to, especially now on video, right?
Yeah.
Because I can grab my phone and start looking at that while you guys are talking and think that I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm not. So making sure that you capture everyone's attention when you're losing them, so important. So that ability to pivot, I think, is really important. Hopefully in my pursuit for a job, I will be able to use those tactics to move forward.
So what's happening with the business? I was
going to ask you that too, because the last time I think we were exiting, right?
Yeah.
What's happening with the business? I still have it.
Yeah.
But it has an end date. Everything expires.
Yeah.
Everything has an end date, and I have chosen that end date. And whether it sells or it doesn't, there is an end date, and it's good.
So you have drawn a line in the sand and said, I'm
there is a line in the sand.
Good for you.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
I'm doing a bunch of other things, and like before I was on the Simon Sinek Find Your Why just before this course, and I know my why. I just wanted to see what else I could learn. Learning is a constant for me, so it's awesome. I think it's a really exciting time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Good for you.
We just had Chloe join us. Chloe's a marketer at Pauling Labs.
Hey.
We're glad that you could join us. There's Cherry, who was on the show. She's Airtable, and then Taz, who runs Petropolis and her own biz. I guess Petropolis, the retail side and the consulting side of things, right? Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the podcast, so I actually have listened to both your podcasts. Actually.
Oh, wonderful! Thanks so much.
Yeah, I was listening to one yesterday.
When you're coming on the podcast.
Need a better story. I was listening. Who was I listening to yesterday? And I love the quote so much that it was last week's, and he said, "It's like at the end of the year, it's like trying to land a plane by at the same time trying to take one off." And I was like, "That is so relatable."
Yeah, that's true, though, right? That's Chris.
Chris Bailey from.
I was the idiot that wanted to launch a new e-com website and 3 campaigns for Jan First. Not a good way to go into a holiday. I don't
know.
You look like you're in an office, but I recall having a conversation about being on vacation this week.
No, so today I was originally going to be on vacation today, but I was in Vernon and we went skiing and that was fun. But again, did I just mention about the e-com site and the weekend?
Yeah.
So yesterday, I think similar to a colleague of mine, Jerry and Taz, I've seen another colleague of mine that is meant to be on vacation this week that has just been on the line for another hour. I think Ken, you would be very familiar, Mark.
Yeah, Mark and I were on from 6 this morning, my time, till 10.
Yeah, he's lucky wife, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I can relate. I've had some plans to go on vacation as well, and I don't think we're played out the way I intended.
No. I don't think anybody's did. I know everybody was, I'm off the week after. Nobody is off. I've talked, everybody is working this week.
I know, silly amount of things.
Right. Yeah. And not many are happy either, just so we know that. None seem to want to work this week. It's not a happy work week necessarily.
I'm very happy to be here with all of you.
That's nice. Well, it's nice to have everybody here too, right? But it's not really work. That's why it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. I've just gone into the boardroom and escaped. I'm like, I'm in a meeting.
Is it Richard in?
Yeah.
Richard's got to come and say hi too.
Well, he's in the warehouse because the warehouse is stopped.
Chloe's trying to run away from Richard. You can't have Richard come in.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Away from him.
That's what it is.
You know?
More to the point, if he comes in, I've got to put this on. It drives me insane.
Well, you got to wear those masks, baby. You got to get rid of this stupid thing.
Phil, I also want to bring your attention to that there were 43 people on the email you sent and you didn't CC any one of us.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
When I look at it, it says to Linda and 43 more. I'm like, okay, well, that's a big faux pas. Clearly, you've been on Zoom way too long.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, like I sent it. Oh, I sent it back out. Yeah, you're right. But it's okay. There are 43 of you.
Phil struggled. This whole invitation, Phil has struggled with.
I'm okay with it, but I don't know if every single 43 other people are. Because it could be a pretty valuable list if you think about it. I'm going to sell it.
No, I think most of the people on this list won't sell it. We've actually made a bunch of connections already. Like, so Tim and Steven were on earlier, and they already connected, and they're building their own Zoom meeting next week already.
Well, I just want to thank you for the invitation because it reconnected me with you and Ken.
Yeah.
That might have been one of the podcasts that I kind of forgot about that I want to put on my website, the recording.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm writing you back to say, can you send it to me again? And Ken, I have big news for you.
Mm-hmm.
I sold Granola Girl.
What? Good for you.
I sold my business in a pandemic. Can you believe that?
Oh, well done. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Wow, good job.
April is on. She did run
Granola Girl. Granola
on
Girl.
way back April 2019.
Founded Granola Girl.
Wow.
Are you the only one that's actually on holidays right now?
No, because I'm full-time life coaching and I love it.
Okay.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Really what I am called to do. And like Ken, you mentor a lot of people and I've wanted to do that, but I actually want to get paid for it and it's working out.
Let me know how the paid part goes.
You know what, Ken? Your
I don't care.
brain is so valuable. You can
shit.
help people to go to your cafe and sit with you and give them an invoice.
I can do the front part, good the second part. Whatever. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
watching Kenny's brain get bigger now.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this.
It's such a valuable service that you are and I know this from experience, having only mentored one girl who I've already saved her thousands of dollars. If you can help people save time, energy, and money, that is worth the price you would pay.
Which was what the motivation of this podcast was originally with Phil and I. That's what we thought from the beginning.
Yeah.
We were getting a little older, not old, but older. We've been around long enough. We're not, financially destitute. We kind of thought, you know what, it might be cool to do a podcast to actually help.
It's great to give back.
People on a larger scale. That was sort of the intent from the get-go. That's why we have such a diverse group of people. Because whatever, what's between your ears really, I guess you can charge for, but at the same time, a freebie here and there ain't going to kill anybody.
I feel like you guys are always asking the questions. As a long-time listener and a fan, can I ask you 2 questions?
Yes, but let me say hi to Bram first. So we got Bram from Shelfgram on.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So if you're just tuning in, there's Bram and there's April, formerly Granola Girl, now life coach. We've got Chloe, who is going to come on the show. And we've got Taz and we've got Sherry, and then there's Kenny and I.
Yeah, just wanted to say, hey guys, happy holidays.
Thank
Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
I love the Shelfgram Bram. Was a brand manager for years, so every time I was like, this is genius. Like the amount of
pretty cool
photos in my phone that are just displays in store.
I know. It's so funny, right? It's all like pictures of my kids' first day of school, picture of my dog, picture of a planogram of mustard, picture of but no, that's great. Since then we just launched our completely overhauled mobile app and an analytics suite and a couple of other things. So it's been great. There's my dog. Yeah,
that's okay. Dogs are welcome too.
Yeah. Here, I'll grab her. 1 second.
Might as well. Phil's already had his dog on this morning, so it's all good.
And then while Bram's grabbing his dog, we got Jim and Lori Shoplin on. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Rue.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at that.
What a cutie.
Rue, say hi. 1 second. Let's wave. Hello. Okay.
That's amazing. This is a cool hangout. I I think Kenny and I were kind of prepared to be by ourselves for 2
I just thought I'd be talking to Phil for a couple hours,
No
which is
way.
okay, right? Which makes it harder for me to justify to Amelia that I'm actually doing something. Because we go, what are you doing? I was talking to Phil. Well, you could do that every week.
Yeah. For 2
What a way
hours
to end the
not
year.
just 1
You guys-
hour. I know, it's like
I
guys
love
talked
your
for
rants.
3 hours.
The ones where your guests decide not to show up and it's just you two ranting the heck out of the podcast. It's hilarious. That olive oil rants and
we had to that was an educational thing for Phil on that one. We had
And when
to
you
teach
don't
Phil.
introduce anyone
Yeah.
for the first half of the show, I'm always like, have I missed a part of the show?
oh, I know. It's just our way, I think.
Well, we're consistent at least,
I love
right?
it.
That's got to be worth something.
Yeah.
Man, Chloe, you had a question for us.
How's the 38-hour work week going for you both? I know that was the start of the year goal.
It is. Kenny, do you want to answer first? This is untimely because now Lori's on, and I feel
know. I got to think of what I'm going to say because I don't want Lori to sit there and oh, geez.
So, Lori, I have to tell you this, right? So, Mark Stirling was on earlier, and Mark was like, "Hey, where's your coaching friend? Is she on here? Because I wanted to get some advice." And I said, "Oh, you just got to wait a couple of minutes. Lori and Jim will for sure be on here at some point." And then, but when he said it, both Kenny and I went, "Wait, where? Oh my God, hide! Is Lori
We
coming?"
need other
Like,
people
holy
on
crap,
with us so that we can defer the issues to someone else.
Hey, Kenny, Phil, you should try living with her. See what it's like when you got to live with her.
it's almost like all of a sudden everyone needs to be on their best behavior.
I know.
You just bring out the best in us.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny and I've had some discussion back and forth and actually probably the funniest podcast ever was when Phil didn't know he was being coached.
Oh yeah. That was,
right? And all of a sudden, and
Yeah.
we were of course on Zoom and his whole face just froze. It's like, oh, that was for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my
Holy
God.
shit,
We're
you
always
guys are.
so used
This
to
is me. Oh
coaching
crap!
and picking on Kenny. And it was like, Phil's like, oh my God. Oh, I don't think I like that.
That was because the episode before I got
Yes,
that's
yeah.
why. And I thought, you know what? I am enjoying this immensely. It's a lot more fun to coach than be coached. Even though I probably need more coaching than most, but that's a different story.
Chloe, to answer your question, I think my 35 it was doing pretty well up until about December. December wasn't 35 by any stretch of the imagination. But
I thought 38 was the goal.
It was 38. He just doesn't want to change. He wants to change the number.
but yeah, December was more like 55-ish, I think.
Right,
Yeah. But it's fine, right? Like overall scheme of things, it's been really good. Like I was actually I'm not female, so I don't belong in the Joy Club, but I've actually been losing weight along the way. I've lost a pound a week. So I'm down 7-8 pounds this week. So
I've gained like a pound a week.
Yeah.
That's on purpose, or is that due to stress?
No, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. So I've been working out and doing the things I need to do.
Sure.
So so it's going. I'm on track. I need to make some corrections in the new year so I don't stay 50 hours. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been. So Chloe, my thing is, I took advice from like on my screen, someone at the bottom of my screen sitting with her husband. I made some choices. So I'm really down to us, like because Chloe's part of us, with Pauline and with La Grotta, which is more my other family, right? So all I've really got now is the two. I spend all my time more or less on the two. And really and truly, like if where I look my work week goes, it's hockey cards and coins that are chewing up all my freaking time. Like with us, I'm like probably doing 38, maybe 45 on the high side of work for the two. And then I'm probably doing about the equivalent just farting around with hobby.
You're such a nerd. I love it.
My world is awesome. Like I think I've ended up in a dream. Like if I can play with hockey cards and coins all day, are you kidding me?
It's amazing.
And your mum still brings you cookies.
And my mom drops cookies off. I mean, shit. Like what kind of world do you want to live in?
Mama Vanucci.
And my wife tolerates me to do this stupidity. I'm winner chicken dinner.
I love it. That's great.
Oh, I'm a totally good spot.
I have to
But
tell
yeah.
you, your cookies. I had one biscotti. Kathy ate all the other ones. Like literally, like they come out of the package, and I haven't even I put them away, and she's already making a coffee, right? Like she knows, she saw the packaging coming from you, and she was making a coffee so she could dip the first biscotti. I'm like, I didn't get one yet. Like what the hell, right? Like Anyway,
my mom brought over like 10 tins,
Wow.
The day she brought them over, I shouldn't have probably. I gave her shit. I said, like, there's nobody here. There's no Christmas. Again, my brother's not home.
Kenny?
It's just impossible to eat that many cookies.
There's 7 bubbles on this screen right now.
Oh my God! It cost me $1
You
million
have 10 tins of
It cost me $1 million to get these
I don't
cookies
understand
out.
what's happening here.
Anyway,
I'll do a remote pickup.
Listen, if you want to stop by and I'll tell you what, if you want to laugh, you can stop by because I'll do it. Because I had a friend the day my mom brought him over. An hour later, I got a buddy phoned. His wife was at VGH, I don't know, with cataracts or something. I said, stop on the way home back to Coquitlam. Just stop at the house. I've got a variety. I'll give you like 8 of each. So I gave him like 2 Ziploc bags. I mean, seriously, barely put a dent. I barely put a dent in the cookie problem. There is so many cookies in this
I'll
house.
hold you to that. Let me message you.
Come by the house.
We'll have to talk.
Stop by the
4
house.
that could do curbside pickup right there.
Absolutely.
Wait, maybe not Chloe. Chloe's. Are you a little far away? Actually,
No, Chloe's
No,
in East
I'm
Van.
super close to Kenny.
Okay. So
Chloe's in East Van.
curbside's right there.
Just stop by the house. Like, seriously. Cookies galore. And you know what? When we run out, all I can do is make a phone call. Or a
You can't
text.
say that without giving us your address.
I don't know if he's left the house since
I get
March.
2768 East 16. Pop by.
What?
Just text ahead just to make sure
I'm
I got
on
the
West
cookies ready.
16.
You're on the other side of town. That's where all the big shots live. I'm on East Van side.
Barely across the border.
We're the little shots.
Ontario.
Now,
You have to edit the address out of the podcast there, Phil.
Whatever.
What was that in the chat? 3-1.
How hard is it to find someone's information in today's world, Mr. Shopper?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't think
How
anyone
are you
cares
guys
enough
doing,
about
Lori and Jim?
So interesting, like Kenny, kind of living the dream, and even more so than just work. We had some amazing news at Christmas. We're going to be grandparents.
Wow.
Congratulations.
How cool is that?
So our daughter, Mackenzie, we have a fair question because we have 3 kids and 2 got married within 4 months of each other. So absolutely fair question of like, and that's funny. I called one of my friends and she's like, which one?
Yay! Which one?
But it was interesting. It wasn't lost on me that even though I coach, I get coached all the time. I was foreboding joy because, the circumstances of our daughter, she had leukemia when she was little. So I never really kind of saw this happening as whether it was a real thing. So
crazy.
It's so cool.
Wow. That's amazing.
Who had the harder time with the news?
I had a really tough time with it.
Oh my God. It was really quite what?
Wait, why?
So
why are you?
I don't know. I'm just not ready. It's I don't know. I think a grandparents is something different. And mind you, everybody I talk to loves being a grandparent, right? And said, they would have started with that. It would have been better, right? And but Kenny and I are the same age. I don't know.
Jimmy, I'm kind of with you. As much as I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Feels too early.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's the beautiful thing I think I'm embracing is that
you got a lot of years with a young one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like we've started our track of our own businesses so that we can have the flexibility. So how it came up with my coach is I wasn't planning on telling anybody, but I booked off no clients in July and August. And she's like, oh, that's great. Got some big plans. And I burst into tears. I'm like, yes.
Oh, no.
Wow.
But because we can, because we're self-employed and we have a plan.
Right.
And it's like, so life is fantastic. So
that's awesome. That's great news. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank
you.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
Wait, can I ask when they're due? When she's due?
July, early July.
Okay.
Nice.
And she's a teacher, so that just works really well with their schedule and stuff. But she
Yeah,
gave
that's
us
perfect.
ornaments at Christmas, and Jim's was Pop Pop for Grandpa kind of thing, and she was playing on that. And then mine was Glamma. So I was like, I could do Glamma. I totally could rock a Glamma. So I'm gonna have fun with that.
I like that.
I always really appreciated my grandparents being quite young and very active. Certainly lots of play days at the park and run around with the little kids.
Yeah.
I just think it's great for them. I think
I
if
agree.
kids can grow up with grandparents.
Yeah.
Like you can't. I mean, honestly, I'm with you, Jimmy. I get the age thing. Like I get that, but at the same time, I just think like at 25 years, you're 80. You're still relatively young. The kids, like you get to see everything.
Yeah.
Like and I think that's what, like, if you talk to like all the friends or even my folks, if you talk about it from a grandparent stage, it's because you can watch all the cool stuff happen and all the shit, I guess, but it's not yours.
Yeah.
Right. So you get to enjoy it from a whole different level. Like you get to spoil them, rotten them, hand it back. I mean, what the hell, right?
The other part that I found so interesting for this year, I mean, you think about COVID, you think about all the things that went on, you look at the economy, you look at all these things that kind of go on. There's still life that's happening, right?
100%.
There's still things, people want to get married, people having kids. There's all this other life that goes on, right? And I think for us, and for me in particular, that was one of the things when I look back on 2020 and go, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about our family. But I was really thankful and feel blessed for what we've been able to create in terms of our business and in terms of what we're able to do, and be in a position where we can pivot and we can, show for our kids as they're starting out as young adults in their married life, what things go on. Because, hey, life isn't, it's not a straight line, right?
No.
There's going to be ups and downs, and facing those challenges and how you do that, and having a coach, a life coach to be able to call upon and walk and talk through things and stuff has been so valuable in this time, for sure. So
it's amazing.
That's awesome. The other day when I tried to coach
no,
you.
it's I said it's not a coachable moment the other day, but yes,
Yeah.
So yeah. So,
That's all emotion driven. That's
yeah.
You'll snap out of it.
Yeah. So
I have to jump to a meeting, but it's been lovely chatting to you. Thanks so much, Phil and Kenny, for inviting me.
Bye, Chloe.
No, thanks for coming on.
Podcast.
Bye, Chloe.
Sounds good. Bye.
Yeah.
Happy
Ciao.
New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Wow, this is amazing. I have some of my most favorite people on this stream with me. It's kind of cool.
Cool. That's very cool.
You're just saying that because we're here.
I was thinking the same thing, April. He just said that before for the other screens that were.
No, he's saying that because he was worried there was just going to be me and him for 2 hours.
I'm really grateful just to be reconnected on a new note, and I wanted to just come on and say hi and tell you my announcement in person.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
Thank you, Ken. You've been like such a great person I admired in the industry, and I'm actually happy to say I'm out of it, but I'm still happy to help.
You won't get that far away. It drags you back in.
Did you?
Fun, though, but look at the great people you.
Oh, it's awesome! Come on.
Yeah. So I'm happy to have this reunion.
It's a good.
Was it worth the ride? Before you go, was it worth the ride?
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't be who I am and the coach I am today if I didn't have that experience and knowledge. Because not only, I'm 46, I have 3 teenagers, so I can bring in my life experience and my business experience into the clients I attract.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a very holistic approach now, I feel.
Can I ask you a question, since we have 2 coaches here? How does a person there's all these therapists and who are doctors or they've gone to school, and then there's cognitive therapists, and there's business therapists. They all have MDs, PhDs, blah blah blah. How does your average person who thinks that they need to get some guidance and help in taking the next steps, how do they choose who they should hire as a coach?
April, go ahead.
I'd be like, do your research, look at everyone's bio, have a conversation. And if you plan to have a long-term relationship with your coach, it's got to be someone you like, you feel safe with, you feel comfortable with. And hopefully it's kind of like the friend that could give you good advice and guidance.
Is comfort a key here? Because I'd rather be with somebody that I'm not someone that I don't respect. But if you keep getting stuck in a comfort zone, is that going to allow you to move forward?
I feel a coach is going to challenge you in the right ways too, and ask the right questions that might make you feel uncomfortable.
I would say somebody that can, exactly what you're saying, April, of that friend, but the difference being that the coach is going to, instead of a friend of getting in the pool with you, right? That coach, and again, I totally agree. Like everybody does basically consults. So just find somebody within the realm of what you're looking for, and then just get on as many consults as you can to find that connection with that person. But they're going to want, like, hopefully within that call, they're going to leave you with something that has made that call so valuable that you're like, I need more of that. Like you're going to know when you get on there that they're going to challenge you in a way and give you a perspective of just one simple thing that you're like, oh my gosh, like I want more of that. That's been my experience of any coach that I've ever hired. It's like, oh my goch. I've searched people out on podcasts that I've never even met in person. I'm like, oh no. Like I'm going to work with you. So,
and that's why these podcasts are crucial, because it gives our potential clients an insight into who we are by the questions that you ask, and a good view of our personality and how we operate and communicate. And I also want to say, like, don't jump into bed so fast, right? Like feel it out, date a few people, suss it out, and see who you really get along with. I also have this analogy of, like, it's like going through life. Like life is a haunted house, and I've been through the haunted house, and I've done those scary things that you hopefully won't have to go through, because I can give you a heads up, and I'm going to hold your hand and be there when you jump, right? So you feel safer to move through the next door, and you're not going to be like paralyzed by fear to not move forward. And that's what Kenny did for me, right? Like you made it a more friendly environment so I could really talk to you and tell you what my fears and concerns were. And you just made it more normal, and you normalized it and took the fear away. Wow. And said, yeah, you're welcome here. I'll talk to you and I'll help you.
Thank you, guys. I was asking for a friend.
It's always a friend. It's always a friend.
I gotta go. Thank you. It was nice to see you all.
Oh, April, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
I'll be in touch. Bye.
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 For me as an outsider to that, one of the things I always found interesting as Lori was starting up her business and that sort of stuff, I looked at more from a sports analogy of a coach within, a sports team, or looking to get the best out of people and that sort of stuff, and having that type of relationship. But one of the best ones I've heard is you
Mom, do you want to see what women look like? Look.
You hire a personal trainer for working out, for instance, right? Going to the gym and that sort of stuff, right? And what is it that in that relationship that you're looking for, in terms of a certain amount of expertise, but a certain amount of pushing you but they're also, getting to know you and that sort of stuff. And that was the one thing I found was so really hit home for me in terms of sourcing out somebody, is you wanted to have that enough relationship, but you also wanted to know that they understood you and could push the right button, so to say. So.
Well, Phil knows this. I mean, in the pet industry, there's a lot of coaches, and it's interesting. Like I would never, and I have hired people within the pet industry, and then I sit back, I'm like, ooh, I should have just not gone there. I'm not talking about anyone specific. It's just I think the industry that you're in, sometimes if you're looking to hire a coach, and again, this is not a personal thing, it's conversation. Sometimes it's good to get away from that industry and see a different perspective, and coaches go with a coach that, just like you said, a sports team, someone who's been coaching baseball, little league, let's say. I don't want to go professional because he can coach soccer too. I don't want to go pro yet.
Yeah, but that's an interesting way of putting it, because consider on season, off season. Where are you in terms of building your business? Where are you in terms of what type of things that you need and you're searching out, right? So, are you training? Are you preparing? Or are you in the playoffs, so to say?
Yeah, and using different body parts, and soccer, you're working differently than you would be in baseball. So what are you strengthening during off season? So those things are all what I would consider when I'm looking for a coach, or if I'm looking to move forward in whatever capacity I choose to be in. So I was just curious what actual coaches are actually going to say. So
we have the same questions, because I mean, I recently just got in a commitment with a coach, which I've got to run here shortly, and I just offered to you I scoped out, I kind of knew, because it's a hefty investment, like the one that I was choosing to do. And, but I just knew that there was something, and I often talk about, like, she spoke my language. So even though she doesn't have the same business as I do, she can still, and similar to what was being said before, is kind of just holding that space enough that just trusting and believing that I, in essence, have all of the inner wisdom for myself. She just has that ability to pull it out of me. And that empowers me so much, that finding somebody that can do that, and I prefer somebody on a gentler side, because I've had coaches that have yelled at me before, and even in like fitness classes, and I don't really like those classes. I'm like, I don't want you to yell at me, right? So it's that personal attribute that works for you. And I say, just get on and speed date as many as you can by doing consults with them to figure that out.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Great.
You're so welcome.
So for listeners, we had a couple of folks drop off. We had Bram disappear, but we've got Kenny, myself, Cherry, Taz, Jim, and then Pindy joined us as well. Happy belated Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, this is
Nice
really
jersey.
cool. What's that?
Nice jersey.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's a Team Mexico jersey, but it goes really well with my pajama bottoms that you. Hey, I've been hanging out with you guys for like 90 minutes.
It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, man. Like seriously.
Seriously though, at 3 in the afternoon. Take a shower this week, Phil.
Hey, easy on that. That's not. You don't have to do that early, but just dress.
I'm going out, so I don't need to wear anything besides pajamas. So I took pajamas, put on a fresh pair of pajamas, or took a shower and then put on a fresh pair of pajamas. And
do you guys have a YouTube page? Because I mean, you might as well put your stuff on YouTube as well. It's another platform. Come on, Phil.
We don't really want to.
No, nobody wants to see us. No. We're very secure with ourselves. Taz, nobody wants to see us.
A little mystery is good.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah.
Right.
When we started, we figured, okay, if we really want to get to 0 people listening, let's film us. That'll do it. So we figured, we definitely have the faces for audio.
We may put this one out if I can.
Well, there's a lot nicer people on this one than just you and I. Absolutely, you can light it up.
Good opportunity.
Absolutely, just not us, Phil.
Yeah. We did for a little while, but we just didn't. No. It just wasn't really our thing. Like it's all of our stuff comes from Apple, between Spotify and Apple iTunes, like Apple Podcasts. That's where most of our podcasts.
So how much of this is about you versus your guests? A part of this is about your guests. Your guests may want to have something visual to.
If the guests wanted to do visual, we would probably do whatever the guests wanted. If the guests are asking us, I just don't know if people want to see us.
Well, I don't think we've had anyone ever ask. Well, you're the first guest that ever asked us to be on.
So we have had someone ask now.
YouTube.
I don't want it.
Yeah. I think sometimes what does, it's funny because a lot of our guests that come on have never been on a podcast, right? Or have never done interviewing. And I think we're pretty casual anyway. I don't think we're really that hard to deal with. Like all the first timers at the end, that wasn't that bad. It's because it's just normal conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And I think sometimes it's already hard enough for them to get past the microphone. Mm-hmm. That when you get microphone and video, I just think the intimidation level just kicks it up that extra notch. Although I don't think it's a bad idea. I didn't think that's probably. I think maybe it's more personal than even at that point. I might be talking more about myself. Is that I like doing this when I'm talking to you, and I know it's not going anywhere. Right? We're just it's like dinner table talk.
Yeah.
Right. But as soon as the camera's on, then I'm thinking, oh shit, I should have showered.
Does that
get out of the t-shirt?
It'll force Phil to not wear pajamas.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to put a shirt, like a proper shirt on, and a shower, and
I have a jersey, and I showered.
Well, on the note about making the podcast conversation based, I think that takes a lot of talent, because you have to know what kinds of questions to ask and then how to respond to people in the right way to make it flow really nicely while still getting through the content.
Oh,
because I've heard
clear.
lots of podcasts where you ask a question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, let's be clear. These guys, they don't really have the content laid out. Do you remember that conversation, guys?
There's lots. Oh, there's so much prep, Lori. Let's not. We prep like crazy.
Jerry, I went on the first call.
Research.
And I said, okay, so what do you want to talk about? How let's guide this conversation? And they both started to laugh at me.
Yeah.
So
what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is how the conversation with Lori went, right? I was like, Lori, we'd love to have you on. We think we could do this. What would Lori do? Things. She was like, cool, let's lay this out. And I was like, I just did. What?
That was it. Like, weren't you listening? It was very short.
Like a structure about how we talk. I'm like, yeah, the structure is you'll come on, we'll come on, have a conversation, see how it goes. She's like, oh God, no, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh, we don't do the rest of it. Like we say that, but we really mean it. We don't do the rest of it.
I get people all the time. What questions you can ask? I said, I don't know. It depends on where you take it. I mean, we'll ask.
This reminds me. I did a presentation once to like a career day type of thing to elementary school age kids about what I do, and I was working for a convenience store chain at the time, right? So I prepare my presentation to go in there for like 30 minutes to talk to them about what's going on, right? And literally within 30 seconds, somebody raises their hands and asks me a question about flavors of Slurpees, right? So that was the rest of the conversation, how to pick a flavor, how to pick, we went in there and picked colors and flavors, and that was it. And it's much like that when I came on your podcast. It was kind of like, I was going to educate you, and you're like, no, let's talk about Slurpees. So yeah.
Elementary.
Exactly. Yeah,
we haven't really
actually prepare for my podcast guests. I get their screen, I get their information, right? And then I always have, depending on where the conversation goes, you have to be kind of, you have to kind of be able to move with it and have fun with it as well. Otherwise, if it's too serious, I mean, you guys are so not serious, it's actually hysterical to one end of the spectrum. Whereas, I mean, I don't want to be serious, and I come off serious. I'm like, ugh, I don't like the way I sound. So I gotta find the right balance. So this is why
that's a good point, because with the YouTube channel that I film, it's a lot of balance between, okay, how can I make this funny but still professional, because it's teaching people how to use Airtable, and I'm not, I can't go off on rants about Slurpees and pastas and olive oil for 20 minutes. So I think it's really nice that you guys have that freedom.
So we can, right? I mean, it takes us sometimes 20 minutes to remember that. I guess we should tell people who's on the show. And we've done that. We've done up to about 20 minutes, I think, a couple of times where maybe we should just let the person know who,
Yeah, we should.
Introduction.
But I don't know. I guess, I mean, part of this is just because we do this because we really like talking to each other, every week. I think that's the basis of the whole thing, right? So I think just having that as the base of why we do this is what makes it work, I guess. And then, we both like to laugh. It's part of the way we do business. We don't actually, I don't operate any other way, as I try, and Cherry can tell you this too. I pretty much laugh through everything. So I think it's fun. It's
plus I think this is the way we are. I don't if I have people that know me that listen to it, they just laugh. They say, sounds like you. I said, well, what's it supposed to sound like? I mean,
it's not gonna sound like you can. That's who you are.
Yeah.
Well, because I think that's probably why I don't know, I don't prep in life. I ain't gonna prep I'm not prepping for a show. So it's not gonna happen. I never prepped when I was working. I ain't gonna prep now. You get what you get. It's gonna go where it goes.
Well, I was Phil and Ken had invited me a while ago on their podcast, and I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. And it was it was just totally authentic. I mean, I know Ken from before, first time really connecting with Phil, but I like the fact that it's Ken. It was Kenny. It's how Ken is. And, and because it's such a niche audience that you have for your podcast, and I think people appreciate that it doesn't sound too rehearsed, like to go on the flip side, right? And I'm just speaking, so my sister started some HR consulting thing, so she does these podcasts, and she's my sister. I cannot listen to her podcast. I can't do it. I'm like, who is this voice? What is, like, she does this weird intro thing with her, like a lower voice, and I'm like, anyway, I can't. And she's like, I want to have you on. I'm like, no, because I'll make fun of you and we'll get into it.
It won't work.
That might be good for her. That might be really good for her.
No, and I'm so proud of her. Don't get me wrong. So she's a HR exec for the federal government, but she is 100% a Fed through and through, right?
Oh my.
So her business concept is that she wants employers to empower their employees to really live to their fullest extent and give them more work-life balance so that they are performing better at work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, listen, not going to work in private sector, but have at it, because you feds love spending money on this stuff.
Exactly.
Right. And that's it. After that, we just don't talk. She's gotten a ton of gigs in that sector, like the public sector, et cetera, et cetera. And she's really good at what she does. Yeah. But, and I said, listen, I'm like, don't look at me, because everything I work with is private, and Ken and I know there's no such thing as work-life balance in our world, right? So
well, they talk a lot about it. They just don't necessarily follow through on it.
They don't follow through, and she's all about following through it. But anyways, back to the podcast thing, is just interesting for me, like my sister, but I can't listen to her because she seems like someone else, and maybe that's what she's been coached to do. I don't know, but it's just very different.
I think it depends on the audience, etc. It really depends.
Yeah.
Like Richard's popped on. So Richard's with Pauling Labs, NRC, right? So even when Rich came on, I think this is probably Rich's first podcast, and he's asking the same things. Do I prep? And we tell him, nah, just you come on, shoot the shit, and where it goes, it goes. It can't get that bad. I mean, where's it going to go? You just talk, and I'd rather.
You can always edit it.
You know what? I don't know if we do that. Do we edit? I don't do anything.
No, we don't. We don't
edit.
In the early days, so under first 50 episodes, I did some editing, and then it
sounds like a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and then two is it didn't really it was like replaying the entire episode to find little blips and blurps in there at the end of the day, and so it just didn't make a ton of sense for the amount of time it took. So we stopped doing it. So,
so there you go. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. We've actually been messaging because
ciao, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks for popping on. Happy New Year.
See you all.
Congrats too.
Thanks, man. All right. Talk soon.
Congratulations. Bye.
Yeah, and we
I just found out they're going to be grandparents. Richard.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Crazy, eh?
Amazing.
Small fact about Richard, which is going to embarrass him, but he still has the top ranked episode in this Commerce Life.
So I still can't get over that one. He's like the rock star of this Commerce Life.
Wow.
Yeah, he was episode 105. We're at 162 now, and you have more downloads than anybody else.
Wow, weird.
Yeah.
I guess I must be paying people off. That's so embarrassing, but. You guys have had some pretty heavy hitters on. So yeah, interesting. I don't know. Maybe it was somebody wanting to learn something about hall parties. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, we've had like a great afternoon of people hanging out.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Kenny and I, we were worried. We thought it'd just be.
I actually honestly thought it was just Phil and I talking for 2 hours. Like seriously, that's where I thought this was going to go. Which was fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
But,
No, I mean, I
episode. Now I'm going to go listen to Richard's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the
Yeah,
back.
now I'm going to have to look it up too. I want to hear
that's
what
it.
he had.
Pump those numbers, baby. Pump those numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we gotta keep you at number one.
Yeah, I gotta.
Great job, guys. You got more listeners now.
I just gotta stay. As long as I stay above fat, I'll be happy. But no, I mean, it's I hear from a lot of different people on just how helpful the podcast is, from people who have been in business for a while and it's comforting to listen to, right? And hear other people's struggles and, what they're going through. And you guys are just so down to earth.
Thank you.
It's you guys.
We lost him.
We lost him.
We lost him.
Oh, did you
There you
lose?
go. Yep, you're back.
You're
I don't
getting
think. I don't think.
complimentary, So Kenny cut you off.
Yeah. I just don't think you're doing it for the dough. More that you just really enjoy doing it, and you guys enjoy each other. So it's pretty cool.
Do we get paid to do this, Phil? Are you hiding that part too?
No.
Hiding that.
I'm in a soccer show.
In podcasting, unless you're like Tim Ferriss or Brene Brown or something.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
They probably prep though. See, we can't. Then we're screwed again. We can't do that.
We did break the top 200. So we're ranked in Apple Podcasts. We are something like 120 or 130 for business.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Who are we? Are
in Canada or North America?
No, North America. Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
So you guys should be running. I mean, not to, but you guys should be running some like ads or something because I mean that. Listen, I was telling Kenny the other day. My little brother, not so little, started as a hobby a hockey blog site called Oilers Nation, and now he has Oilers Nation, Flames Nation, Canucks Army.
Yeah.
So he generates about $1.6 million in ad revenue every year.
That's insane.
And he does it as a side gig hustle, as a passion project.
Yeah.
Can you give lessons on how to do that? I'm looking to learn.
I mean it's exactly it, right? So
we're gonna have him on the podcast because you know what? We're gonna have to figure this out. Guys, I'm with you. I'm all over this one now.
Yeah.
Can you use my business, my podcast as an example? Let's do it.
Light it up, baby.
Here because I'm always looking.
Light it up.
Phil's gonna beat me up after this.
Well, Ken and Phil. So I had my 4th year pharmacy interns. They've decided to start a podcast and a speaker series.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, great. And they did. Actually, I'll send you guys the link. So you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's an hour of me talking, but that's okay. But kind of going off of what we were saying about advertising and such, I think there's definitely, Phil and Ken, for yourselves, there would be a lot of value with connecting with the business faculties at the university level. Because they are just so hungry for real life practical insight for the students.
Never thought of that.
Even doing these kind of, you hate kids, Ken, be nice. But really, I think it could be cool.
So I'm
like Phil. So my daughter, so Jaya's in this she's doing this dual degree thing and she's doing this management degree in business. So she had this commerce class and it was all marketing. And she's like, oh, this is so boring. I'm like, really? Because you get suckered into buying stuff all the time. So you are affected by marketing every day. But it's just something maybe to explore. I mean, if I come across anything, I'll pass it over to Ken.
Yeah, let us know.
Hopefully, like with Slaughter. And I think it could be kind of neat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were asking me about my consulting, and which is why I was on with you guys about as the pharmacist giving advice or medical writing, etc. So I think it could be kind of neat.
Yeah, I teach. I know a lady professor at Ryerson School of Business. So I think I've got. I taught like 3 or 4 live classes there on merchandising and planograms and things like that. So every now and then I get someone who's going through the program going, I just saw your lesson on planograms. I'm like, oh my God, that's like 5 years ago. You're still writing that?
It's the same planogram. It hasn't changed.
Yeah. Nothing's changed, man. Same techniques.
Although it may be changing now post-COVID. I mean, I'm hearing
that's true too.
I mean, people are ratting the heck out of their planos. It's crazy town.
Yeah.
SKU rationalization is going to be the theme for 2021.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
On the other one, my daughter is she's 13. She's she does animation, and gacha is a big thing among
Gacha life. Yeah, my daughter plays it. Yeah.
So she's got so she did this channel for fun for a very long time. We got it all set up anonymously and everything. She just broke 25,000 subscribers. So she's got she just hit 29,000 subscribers. So I helped her monetize a couple of months ago. So November she pulled down $2,200.
How old is she, Phil?
She's 13.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and then this month she just hit her first. she's had a couple of like 500,000 views on episodes, and then this month she just hit 850.
Wow.
In a couple of episodes, so I think she's going to clear $3,000 this month.
Proud papa.
You know, she just does it for fun. Like I showed her how to do the monetization part, but you know, she does it for fun, and it's just been like this thing she does. So
good for her.
Yeah.
And she's just making little Gotcha Life episodes.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich, you got to talk to Phil.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna
Get these kids to start paying some rent in the house.
Well,
Let's go.
no, she's 9, so she's got to start, right? It's enough. She's got to start earning.
Exactly. I mean, she's gonna be 10 pretty soon. What are you waiting for? Let's
Yeah.
go.
Now, all of a sudden, child labor is widely accepted.
Absolutely.
We're in an Italian home. It's been accepted from the beginning. You can walk. You can do stuff. Work.
Well, and she's doing it
That's something that should be taught in schools. You know, money management. And
Absolutely, it's good for them.
it is. It
Life
is
skills.
Well, what I was lacking, that's for sure.
Well,
yeah,
it's good life skills.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool watching
Wow.
her do her
Very
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I for us, I don't know if we're gonna like Kenny and I don't know if you remember, Kenny, but like earlier last year we had someone like it wasn't Squarespace, it was somebody small who showed up and wanted an endorsement, but we talked about it and kind of,
I can't remember who it was. It was I don't know.
yeah, because running ads is weird for us, right? Like we've got to figure out how to drop them in the middle.
Well, it's also got to make sense for what it is, right? Like I don't think we're adverse to it. I just don't.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
At some point, but right now, it's
brought to you by stamps.com or something like that. I mean, it's
get NRC to buck up.
Well, I'm happy to, just haven't been invited.
Yeah, you already do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like that's already biased as it is. That's just so you know. Like I work with and for Richard, and so does Phil.
Yeah.
So did Pindy for a short time too. So basically, everybody's been rounded to that roundhouse.
Yeah, we're sorry we lost you.
And then we just pass people around.
Sorry, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Terry,
to
there's still a
chat more
chance.
about
There's still a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And they are trying to still navigate that stuff, right? I haven't had the formal conversation with them yet, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm gonna leave that all to you guys.
Leave it to me.
I just do introductions and I walk away. Because otherwise it becomes work, and then I just don't feel like doing it.
No, you work? No.
No, I try not to. I'm really trying this life balance thing as best I can.
Stop. We can't. We're from London. We lost our lives a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It's all good. It's all
So
good.
we asked the other group this: if quarantine were to end now and you were vaccinated or you were safe to travel,
yeah,
what would be kind of your first
Where you going?
destination?
London.
Interesting.
Oh, me and you. That was my
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry?
I'm keen on Vietnam. Just had a friend move over there recently, mid-pandemic.
Wow.
Moved
Wow.
across the world.
Really interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to be our big friendship trip
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
next, hopefully.
Okay. Taz?
I'd probably go to Hawaii and spend 2 weeks just kind of in a meditative. There's so much energy there.
Yeah.
And I'm not into that whole meditative shit, but I think I need to get into that. So
But there's something really zen about just lying on a beach in Maui. That's not
it's not lying on a beach, it's being in the water, learning to surf, connecting with nature.
all of that. I really
All
meant.
of that. Yeah, I don't want to be in the city. I'm already in New York City, and and I talk to everybody around the world with my podcast. So it's just, I'm gonna either there or New Zealand. It's between those two.
Interesting.
Richard?
So I owe a friend a kayak trip around the Napili Coast in Kauai. So first trip would be that, because I promised him I would do that. We were supposed to do it this summer. So, as long as the waves aren't too big and we're going into summertime, I would be taking him to Kauai for that kayak trip, followed by a quick turnaround with my family back there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what about you?
We're going to go to Mexico. We've canceled it twice this year, right? So yeah. Actually, we canceled Europe this year too.
That was your last trip, right?
We were supposed to be in Europe for 3 weeks this summer for soccer, and that didn't plan out. We had canceled Mexico in April, and then I was going to book Mexico again in October, and obviously that wasn't going to work. Then I was going to book Mexico again for February, but that doesn't look like it's going to work. So yeah, I just want to get, it's got to get out of here.
I mean, you got to find another place. There's a wall now in Mexico. You got to find.
I think we're going to go back to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it is? I think right now, honestly, I think we just want to get on a plane, which sounds so pathetic, but just to go somewhere. And I mean, honestly, it's been 11 months and literally, I mean, we're in Canada, man. And I'm in Vancouver. Like, I mean, come on, seriously, this is not that bad a gig. Like 4 of us are in the same city. It's not that bad. We live in a great country, great province. I mean, we're more fortunate than most. I mean, there's really no, but at the same time, I think we just need to get the hell out of here for a bit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I like your idea of a beach. It's got to be something. I don't want to do much. I just want to veg.
It's interesting that nobody said Vegas.
No desire.
Nobody said Vegas. I think, have we aged out of Vegas? I don't know, but no one said Vegas.
Even when I went to Vegas, I hated it. So.
Well, I've been to Vegas like 30 times. I could skip Vegas.
You used to go for conferences. I used to go for girls' trips, but
yeah.
I mean,
2-3 times a year. I was in Vegas for like 15 years. I've Vegased out.
Yeah.
I've been to Vegas 6 times, 5 for Grateful Dead shows, which were amazing.
That would have been cool.
And then the 6th time was not, and I will never go back because the Grateful Dead doesn't exist anymore. And it was disgusting. It's just, it's really, yeah. You've either aged out or you've got to like gambling or really cheesy stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those cities. Good for people watching. It's fun, but it gets tiring because
it gets stale quick.
Yeah, because you just can't picture that many people that way in one spot at one time.
Not anymore. Yeah.
And we're looking for New York again, Taz, because we love New York. Yeah. I love going to New York. I'd
like to be able to go to a great restaurant again, sit down with friends. Yeah. Have a great bottle of something strong, and have great conversation face to face, looking at each other. That'll be fabulous. Without I can see your mouth move. That would be good.
Yeah, and New York's one of those places that I just love that city for that. It's just a great city for. Yeah, it's just a great city.
Hopefully, we get some great restaurants that'll open back up again. I love New York.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, as we talk about here, I don't know how many are going to reopen. That's our challenge.
Yeah.
Whether the restrictions can go, but I mean, a lot of people, the money is just.
No, but even when we get there, how many will open very differently, right? Like, because there's
how many of us are running out to restaurants?
A lot of.
I mean, a few of us, but
takeout is actually a really good option for them. Like, it's less real estate, it's less investment. It's a quicker turnaround. They don't need to hire servers, so.
I don't know.
Plus,
a restaurant that used to hold 100 that now holds 30.
Yeah.
I mean, it loses its ambiance too. It's not. I don't know. It's not the same anymore.
So do you just, you know what I mean? Like
I don't know.
We have friends that are restaurant owners, and they've kind of said, like, as soon as we're able to, we're gonna shrink down. We're gonna do takeout, and we're done with it, right? Like, because it's more economical, it's safer.
Yeah.
We're kind of like future proofed, and then
it's too bad. Nothing like a great dinner out.
Because of the mindset they're in at this moment, because
possibly
of what's happening.
Possibly.
When this does clear out, when 80% are vaccinated or inoculated, then I know we're just talking about jumping on planes and traveling, right?
I agree.
So along with that, money, commerce, guys. Hello, your podcast.
Yeah, bet.
Commerce starts back up. We want to put money back into.
You have to.
Our cities and our
absolutely.
Homes. Yeah. So we have to work with each other to grow the local businesses. It's so
100%.
And I'll go out and have dinner, even though I'm not the type of person that really, unless it's a great restaurant, I'm not going to waste my time. But I'll go to my local joints and get pizza. Or whatever.
I think we're going to have to, because we're not going to be around. And plus, we have to refund the amount of money that our governments have spent.
Absolutely.
So it's got to come from somewhere.
My government doesn't spend anything. They keep wiping their asses with our tax dollars here.
Just come up here. We spend.
Yeah.
I would love to.
We light it up, baby.
Internship, I'll be in Vancouver in a heartbeat. It's one of my favorite places.
Not a bad place to be.
Pretty amazing.
I'll clean houses. I don't give a shit. I'm done. Nature. Oh my God, my animals would be thrilled there. I have some friends.
Yeah, not a bad place to be. Not a bad place to be.
I got to run. I love you guys.
Thanks for coming on. It was nice seeing you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Good seeing
Good
you.
luck on
Happy New Year.
whatever you're going to do too. Like, keep us posted.
Keep us posted.
I'll figure it out.
I'm not. That wouldn't surprise me.
Take care.
See
Bye.
you later. Ciao.
Wow, that's been
That's good, guys.
awesome stretch.
Yeah.
Rich, thanks for coming on. I wasn't expecting you.
Yeah.
No,
That's nice.
I mean,
Thank you.
I saw it and I was planning on popping on for a bit, and I was like, because I obviously love you guys and I love the show, and sort of made sure that I wanted to put some time aside of sort of wrapping up sort of year-end stuff here and things, and got quite a bit done in the last couple of days. So it's not a real hectic day. Kenny's got me not worried about sales, and so I've got my head out of sales, which is
Just relax a little bit. It's all
my
good.
theme for 2021 is I'm as CEO. I can't be.
No, that's why we pay. That's why we pay people to do it.
That's right. So
let them stress out.
Yeah, exactly. So even though I always will, but no, it's good. It's really good, and it's nice to meet you too, Cheryl.
Nice to meet you.
Well, we're at the end of our 2 hours.
That's
Thank
it.
you for coming on.
That's it.
Happy New Year to you both. And then I don't know. We'll see you guys in the new year for sure.
We'll see you in the new year.
Absolutely. If we don't see you before.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Yes,
right.
it is true too.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for putting this on. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Take it easy, bud.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye, Sherry. Have a happy new year. Thanks for coming on.
Happy New Year. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Bye.
Ciao. Well, Mr. Phil, I'm on hour 6 of headphones and Zoom.
Oh no, yeah, you gotta go.
And I'm just 10 minutes just getting off Zoom now.
Yeah.
Got to go on to another
That
one.
was amazing. Look at all those
That was a lot
people
of
that
fun.
came on.
No, that was kind of cool. People I haven't seen in a while later. I like that. That's neat, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it is
Plus,
cool.
we might pick a few new podcasts. I think Timmy will be a good one too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And obviously there's questions. I mean, I wouldn't even mind doing another one on picking a coach, picking a business coach, life coach, whatever. Because I think there's Tim's will be something like that, but there's a lot of stuff in that. There's a lot of people that the sort of mentoring and team mentoring is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, for sure. They're two different concepts too, right? The one's a team, one's more of an individual, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think
Very
it's something. I think more and more people need that stuff as well, right?
I do too.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it's kind of cool.
I agree.
Awesome, dude.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, my friend. Thank you very much. As always, for organizing everything and doing all the tech work and all the. Actually, just doing all the work. I just basically still just show up.
Buddy.
Hey, I'm good at it, man. I can show up. I can do the show up thing like that.
We are
No
a
fooling
team.
around.
This thing doesn't work without both of us.
It's all good, buddy. It's all good, buddy. Way.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too, and Kathy and the family. And
We will. Yeah.
I guess we'll chat next Thursday.
Yeah. How's your daughter? I ever
Fine.
She's fine now?
Nothing.
Okay.
She never had any symptoms.
Okay.
Seriously, it was a nothing. I mean, she's at that age, right?
Yeah, she's young.
Which again is probably some of the problem,
Yeah.
right? Because because Cardi does worry about her grandparents and stuff, but that age, when you get it and nothing happens, it's hard to get your next set of friends to be concerned, because the first question, well, what did you know? Nothing happened. Well,
yeah.
And then it just doesn't seem to slow down, right?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the age group.
I have
20 to 30.
A friend that I grew up with in university. He and his wife got it, and she's on. It scared the bejesus out of us, right? Because she's still critical day to day. She's finally not COVID positive anymore, but she has been in hospital I want to say 2 months now.
Jesus.
He's on what they call an ECMO unit, which is the unit that pulls the blood out of your bloodstream, aerates it with oxygen, and then pumps it back into a major artery. and she's literally critical day to day still.
That's brutal.
You know, and that machine, there's one in Ontario. It supports 40 people in one go, and we have 14 million people in Ontario. So that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing that, like, if you don't know someone who's been on it, kind of go, what's the big deal, right? Like, our nephew is 25. He like practically grew up with us, and he's like, oh, can we come over for New Year? And we're like, no. Now we know somebody who's been through this. We're not doing it. Like, so
absolutely
sorry,
not.
we're staying here and nobody's coming, right? Like, it's you know,
Unreal.
but you know,
Unreal.
unless you've been through that, how do you know, right? So
Well, that's just it, right?
yeah. Anyway, it's crazy. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. Let's hope for a much better 2021.
Yeah.
And do we have a guest for next week?
No, not
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll work on that too.
Yeah, we'll see who we can land. So
Sorry that, or we'll just catch up.
Yeah. Either or is good. You know, it's us.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care,
my
buddy.
friend. Take care, buddy.
Ciao.